कृष्णो रक्षतु नो जगत्त्रय गुरुः कृष्णं नमस्याम्यहं कृष्णे नामरशत्रवो विनिहताः कृष्णाय तस्मै नमः कृष्णादेव समुत्थितं जगदिदं कृष्णस्य दासोऽस्म्यहं कृष्णे तिष्ठति विश्वमेतदखिलं हे कृष्ण संरक्ष माम् जय श्रीमन्नारायण blessings of Sri Chinna Jeeyar Swamiji continuing Bhagavad Gita. In chapter 17, we finished sloka up to 23. We'll start with 24 sloka. Share my screen. Hope you can see.
Yeah, we can see it on there.
Yes. Please chant. Tasmadomityudahritya
तस्मादोमित्युदाहृत्य
यज्ञदानतपः क्रियाः
यज्ञदानतपक्रियाः
प्रवर्तन्ते विधानोक्ताः
प्रवर्तन्ते विधानोक्ताः
तततं ब्रह्मवादिनाम्
सततं ब्रह्मवादिनां
Let's chant together.
तस्मादोमित्युदाहृत्य यज्ञदानतपक्रियाः
यज्ञदानतपक्रियाः
प्रवर्तन्ते
प्रवर्तन्ते
विधानोक्ताः
विधानोक्ताः
ततं
ततं
ब्रह्मवादिनाम्
ब्रह्मवादिनाम्. Okay, the Lord Krishna is continuing. Sloka 24. Tasmat, therefore. Okay, so we'll just quickly recap what we learned in Sloka 23. The Lord Krishna said, Om Tat Sat iti Brahmana Trividaha Nirdeshaha Smrutaha. Om Tat Sat. In this way, threefold instruction or order or direction, Nirdeshaha, of Brahmanaha, of Brahma, is here Vedas. Threefold direction or order of Veda is declared or remembered. Tena, by that, Brahmanaha Vedaha cha Yajñascha, Brahmanaha, as Brahmana is a class of people. Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Sudra is typically we associate. Brahmana is the class of people who learn and practice Vedas, who study, practice Vedas, right? So here we can take it up as Vedics, those who are studying and practicing Vedas is Vedics. Brahmanaha, Vedaha, Veda is Vedas, and Yajnaha is Yajnas. Pura Vihitaha. They're created. They were created in the beginning at the time of creation. So Om Tat Sat is the direction, the threefold direction given to us, okay, by the Vedas. And they are associated with Brahmanas, that is Vedics, those who practice and study and practice Vedas, and Vedas, the Vedas themselves, and Yajnaha, the activities that are prescribed by the Vedas. So there are three things here: Vedas, the activities that are prescribed in Vedas, and those who are practicing, studying and practicing Vedas. Okay, so these three are associated with Om Tat Sat. Okay, Om Tat Sat is a direction given to us along with these three: the Vedas, activities that are in Vedas, the rituals, practices that are prescribed in Vedas, and all the people who study and practice Vedas, referred to as Brahmanas, right? Those who study the Brahma, that is the Vedas. Okay, so Lord Krishna said Om Tat Sat is created along with them at the time of creation. Or the direction that is given to all these three are associated with all these three at the time of creation. So in Shloka 24, Lord Krishna is saying, Tasmat, therefore, Yajna Dana Tapakriyaha, sacrifice, Yajna is sacrifice, Dana is charity, Tapas is austerity. Okay, Kriya are actions. So the actions that are related to Yajna Dana Tapa Kriyaha, Brahmavadinam Vidhana Uktaha. Okay, now mentioned, Vidhana Uktaha, they're mentioned or enjoined, they're prescribed. Brahma, they're mentioned in the scriptures, right? Of Brahmavadis, Brahmavadinam, of Brahmavadis. Vidhanaktaha mentioned in the scriptural orders of Brahmavadis. Okay. Satatam pravartante Om iti udahritya. Om iti udahritya means after chanting Om in this way. Satatam pravartante. They are begun. You begin. Okay. So Lord Krishna is saying, Om iti udahritya satatam pravartante yajnadana tapakriyaha that are prescribed in the Vedas. So when when you are chanting Vedas, before chanting the Vedas, you say Om. Okay? Om. And then you chant the Veda. And before performing any actions that are prescribed in the Vedas, which are yajna, dana, tapas, right? Vedas prescribe us three things: yajna, dana, and tapas. For all of us, right? So before practicing them, before performing those actions which are given in the Vedas, which are prescribed in the Vedas, you chant Om. Okay? So Om is associated with the Vedas. Om is associated with the activities that are prescribed in the Vedas. Om is associated with those who are actually practicing, studying or chanting Vedas or practicing those activities that are in Vedas. Okay? Why do you need to chant Om?
It represents the essence of Vedas.
It represents the essence of Vedas. It represents Vedas. Yeah. Yes. What else?
And also it is to protect us from any doshas we may make during the recitation, if there are any defects.
Perfect. Perfect. Yes. So there are certain principles that we need to follow, and there are certain rules that we need to practice when we are chanting Vedas. Like once you start chanting, you should not get up, you should not talk other things. You should not, maybe go to bathroom or something like that, right? So what if you have to do those activities, right? So it will basically protect us from any any effects of not practicing to the law, right? To exactly to the dot, whatever is given in the Vedas, which if we are not able to practice them as it is given, like the time we need to practice or how we need to chant, we may not be able to chant it exactly how it is supposed to be chanted, or we may have interruptions. We may have physical limitations, right? So if we are not following those rules that are given in the Vedas as is, in order to protect us from the any effects of that, we start chanting with Om, right? Om refers to Vedas. Om is given to us, given to us, and Lord Krishna is saying that we need to start any chanting or any practice of those activities by saying Om. Okay. Om also refers to Paramatma, right? Okay. So this is Paramatma's activity I'm doing. Okay. So the activities that I'm doing, the chanting of the Vedas, or the activities that are prescribed in the Vedas, if I'm performing them, those are not my activities. These are activities of Paramatma. So by chanting Om, we are associating those activities with Paramatma, right? We are getting protection from any effects of not practicing them according to uh, the principles that are given due to any limitation. Not like we don't want to do them, right? But we are practicing a yajna or something like that, and we have to get up or we have to stop, and then we have to talk to somebody saying, hey, can you give me that or something like that. Like, so anything that we have to say or do that is not prescribed uh, while while performing that activity, in order to protect us from that, we also chant Om. Okay.
So, but the only thing is, one is expected to know the meaning and chant Om. If we mechanically chant, it may not give the result. In the mind, when we chant, we have to, because one of the Yoga Sutras in Patanjali Maharshi also says, Tajjapas tadartha bhavanam. He talks about, Omkara, Pranava, and he says, Tajjapas tadartha bhavanam. So when you contemplate on the meaning and chant, it may give the desired result.
Yeah, that will be a perfect state, right? So, like if we know the meaning of things and then chant, we will be able to actually experience, feel, and do it properly, right? So, and we are able to practice things properly, not only just Om, like anything that we are even say when we are chanting Bhagavad Gita or when we are chanting Sundarakanda, if we know the meaning, we get a different feeling, right? We are able to immerse ourselves better. We are able to practice those principles. However, as a starting, we may not know the meaning, right? So it is not necessary that we need to know the meaning of everything that we are chanting. We start chanting, and then the meaning will come to us later automatically, right? So it will start cleaning our whatever from obstacles that we may have to understand the meaning, right? To practice whatever is the meaning suggesting, right? Or to experience whatever the meaning is suggesting. That we may have obstacles, right? Those obstacles will be removed, and also we will get the benefit of that chanting, even if we don't understand. Okay, we may be able to get a better understanding if we know the meaning, but it is not necessary on day one. So yeah, so we can chant all the stotrams, and even the Vedas people chant that. Not everybody understands every word of whatever is there in the Vedas, right? But if it is chanted perfectly, it gives the right results. Whatever results that we expect. Vishnu Sahasranama is the same.
Yes.
We don't need to know the meaning of every namam, but we'll get the result. Of course, initially we don't know, as I said, but we will get, like, we don't have to think, oh, we have to start first learn the meaning and then, but start making progress, and then we will get the meaning. We should not try to stop ourselves from getting the meaning just because somebody said, oh, chanting itself will give you the result, right? So we have to start chanting, get the meaning, then it will become perfect.
Makes sense.
Okay. So we'll know like why Lord Krishna is talking about Om Tat Sat, right? We'll after we'll learn about all three words, then we'll see why he's saying that as part of 17th chapter, right? Okay, so next sloka 25. Okay, listen. तदित्यनभिसन्धाय
तदित्यनभिसन्धाय
फलं यज्ञतपः क्रियाः
फलं यज्ञतपः क्रियाः
दानक्रियाश्च विविधाः
दानक्रियाश्च विविधाः
क्रियन्ते मोक्षकाङ्क्षिभिः.
Kriyante mokshakamkshiभिः.
Let's chant together.
तदित्यनभिसन्धाय
तदित्यनभिसन्धाय
फलं
यज्ञतपः
यज्ञतपः
क्रियाः
दानक्रियाश्च
दानक्रियाश्च
विविधाः
विविधाः
क्रियन्ते
क्रियन्ते
मोक्षकाङ्क्षिभिः.
मोक्षकाङ्क्षिभिः. Okay, we'll learn about Om. Om iti. When do you say? Before chanting the Vedas or before performing the actions that are prescribed in the Vedas. Of course, we chant Om after chanting the Veda as well. Like in the prayer we chant Vedic verse, Vedic sloka. Before the sloka and after the sloka, we say Om. And before the activity and after the activity, we say Om. After that, Lord Krishna is saying Tat iti udahritya. Okay, or Om iti udahritya, now tat iti. Utter, tat in this way. And the meaning is that in this way. Or after thinking or uttering tat in this way, right? Phalam anabhisandhaya. Phalam is result or fruit of activities. What activities? Whatever activities, the yajna dana tapa kriyaha, right? So phalam anabhisandhaya, not expecting the fruits, not having expectations of the fruits or results. Vividhaha yajna tapa kriyaha dana kriyascha. Yajna tapa dana kriyaha vividhaha. So not having expectations of fruits of actions with the yajna dana tapas activities. Okay, vividha is various. They're not just one or two, right? Like various actions of yajna dana tapa kriyas kriyante are performed moksha kangshibihi, by those who are seeking liberation. Okay, so thinking of tatiti kriyante, how do they do those activities? Moksha kangshibihi, by the people who are expecting
Karma yoga.
phalam anabhisandhaya, not having expectations or not expecting fruits of those actions, right? Not desiring fruits of the actions. Right? So tat, after thinking of tat, you perform the activities. Okay? So what should be our goal? I mean, the goal is moksha kangshibihi, by those who are seeking moksha, liberation. They're not performing those actions with expectations of the results. So what happens if you perform the actions with expectations of the results?
Karmic bondage.
Punya,
Karmic bondage.
yeah, and therefore
So they will not become moksha kangshibi.
moksha.
Moksha kangshibi is by. Bhi is by those, by plural of moksha kangsha. So people who are seeking moksha shouldn't be performing these actions with expectations. And they have to think of tat. Tat is referring to Paramatma. Okay. So if you're doing the activities without expectations, what does that mean? You're doing the activity as
Offering to
Service to God.
offering to Paramatma.
service to God. As service to God. So when I'm doing the activity, so I say tat, right? Or thinking of tat, thinking of that Paramatma, I'm performing this activity. I'm doing this activity as service to you, as service to tat, right? So those activities are referring to, they are the activities of Paramatma. I am performing those activities as service to Paramatma. That is what tat is referring to. Okay. So, remembering all this, these activities are Paramatma's activities. I'm doing this without expectation. I'm doing this as service to God. Just 3 English letters, right? Or two syllables in Sanskrit. Tat. Okay. So remember Tat always. Chant Tat when you're performing the activities. So you remember, okay, this not for, I'm doing this activity without having expectations as service to God. And who am I? I'm the one who is seeking moksha, right? So we may get the results, right? I mean, there will be some results and we can enjoy the results. So there's no issue with that. We can, seek those, I mean, not seek, we can accept the results as blessings of Brahma, right? But that is not the only purpose we are doing the activity. We are not doing those activities because I need something from those activities. Only for that purpose I am doing this activity. No. And I'm not doing these activities as my activities. All that is embedded in this tat. Okay. So by after chanting tat or after thinking of tat, perform the activities. Okay. Or Lord Krishna said, perform these activities. And these activities, yajna tapah kriyaha, are performed after thinking of tat. Okay. Those who are seeking moksha. So that is the nirdesha is an order given in the Vedas, right? Or a direction. Order may seem negative, but it's a direction. It's a prescription given to us. Okay. So we'll look at the next sloka. 26. Descent. Sadbhave sadhubhave cha
Sadbhave
sadhubhave
sadhubhave
च
cha
sadityetat prayajyate
sadeti
तदित्येतत्
prayajyate
प्रशस्ते कर्मणि तथा
प्रशस्ते
prashaste
कर्मणि
karmani
तथा
tatha
तच्चब्दः पार्थयुज्यते.
सच्चब्दः
सच्छब्दः
पार्थयुज्यते
पार्थयुज्यते
Listen together.
सद्भावे
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 साधुभावे
साधुभावे
च
च
सदित्येतत्
सदित्येतत्
प्रयुज्यते
प्रयुज्यते.
प्रशस्ते
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 कर्मणि
कर्मणि
तथा
कर्मणि
तथा
तथा
सच्छब्दः
सच्छब्दः
पार्थयुज्यते
पार्थयुज्यते
So we learned about Om and Tat. Now Lord Krishna is talking about Sat. Sat iti etat prayujyate. This word, etat, this sat, this word sat, prayujyate is employed or used in this way. Sadbhave sadbhave cha. So before we talk about the significance of sat, association with the Vedas the activities given in Vedas and those who are studying and practicing Vedas, we're talking about what is Sat. Okay, Sat is used how Sadbhave in the sense of existence. Bhava is existence, that which exists. Bhavati. Sadbhave is in the sense of existence, good existence. Sadhu bhavecha in the sense of goodness, auspiciousness. Okay. Tatha, likewise, he Partha, Arjuna, Sat Shabdaha yujyate, the word Sat is used, yujyate is used, prasaste karmani, in the actions that are auspicious, that are deserving praise. Prasaste. Karmani is in the karmas, that is in the activities. Prasaste, that are auspicious or that deserve praise. Sat karma, sat bhava, sat sadhu bhava, and sat karma. Right? In this, sat is used in this. So that which is having the existence, right? That which is good, auspicious, or even the one that is good, auspicious activity that deserves praise, right? Typically, Sat is referred to that in this world. Okay. So, good existence, good nature, and good activity. Now, Lord Krishna will say what, I mean, its association, Sat association with the Vedas and Vedics, Vedas actions and Vedics. Okay, so let's look at that. 27. Please chant. Yagne tapasi dane cha
Yajne tapasi dane cha
sthiti saditi chochyate
sthiti saditi chochyate
karma chaiva tadardhiyam
karma
कर्म
chaiva
चैव
tadarthiyam
तदर्थीयम्
sadityevabhidhiyate.
tadityeva
चैवाभिधीयते
bhidhiyate.
Let's chant together.
Yajne tapasi dane iti saditi
Sthiti saditi
chochyate
chochyate
karma chaiva
karma
चैव
tadarthiyam
तदर्थीयम्
tadityeva
सदित्येवाभिधीयते
bhidhiyate.
Sthitihi. Yajne tapasi dane cha sthitihi. Sthitihi means the steadfastness, fixed in purpose, fixed in direction, established, right? Right, fixed, steadfast, that state. Okay. Yajne tapasi dane cha, in yajna, yajne in yajna, tapasi in tapas, dane in danam, that is charity. Okay. So steadfastness in these, or faith, firm faith, or fixed purpose in these activities, who has those, who has that steadfastness, who it is referring to?
Those who are seeking moksha.
Right, those who are performing the right actions, right? So here the reference is to those who are practicing. The steadfastness of those who follow the Vedas in performing these yajnas and yajna dana tapakriyas. Sat iti uchyate is spoken of as Sat, or is said to be Sat in this way. In this way is like in English, typically we say like, right? We say it's like this, like, I did it like something like that, that is how we need to understand. Basically, Sat is referring to Sat it is said to be Sat, like, or in this way. What is Sat is that steadfastness of those people who follow the Vedas, who are Vedics, right? We all are Vedics. Okay, so that steadfastness, that firm faith, that purpose, the fixed purpose, direction that we all have in performing those Veda, in those activities that are given in Vedas, is called Sat. Okay, is said to be referred to as Sat. Tadardhiyam karmacha eva. Tat ardhiyam. Tat Ardha is purpose, right? Ardhiyam for the purpose. Tadardhiyam for their purpose. Karmacha eva, the work, even the work performed for their purpose. Sat iti eva abhidiyate. So the work that is performed for their purpose is also called Sat. So for whose purpose? That is the question. For their purpose, tadadhiyam. So who Lord Krishna is referring to here? What or who Lord Krishna is referring to?
Who are doing the dana tapas thing?
Perfect. Yeah. So work, any rituals that are, any work, any rituals that are performed for the purpose of supporting those who are practicing the yajna, dana, tapas. See, we get a doubt, right? Like, um, you know, people are practicing, Vedas, right? Now they need support. Okay. So if those who are supporting, okay, if their activities are not called Sat, then why would somebody do it? Right? Or is it not good enough? Is it not good? People may ask, why are you differentiating? Why are you discriminating? The discrimination comes there, right? If I am practicing yajna, whatever that faith I have in practicing those yajnas is Sat, okay, and it is limited to me only, those who are practicing those Vedas. What about all those people who are supporting me, right? So their activities, the activities that are done with faith to support the people who are practicing Vedas with faith, those activities are also called Sat. Okay. So Sat is associated with the Vedics and everything that is everyone who is supporting the Vedics. Right? So Om Tat Sat. Om refers to Vedas. Think of because we are chanting Om before chanting the Vedas. We are chanting Om before doing anything that is prescribed in the Vedas. Tat refers to the our intentions. Why we are performing, or like how we perform the actions, right? How we perform is so we are performing with the intention that I need to get the moksha. That is a why, and we are performing without having expectation. That is how. Okay, and Sat is referring to the who is performing the actions and how they are performing the actions. So who is performing? The people who are practicing, studying and practicing Vedas are performing those actions, Vedics. And how they're performing the actions is with faith. Okay. So keywords here, right? What are the keywords Om Tat Sat referring to? Is scriptures, that is Vedas. The prescriptions that are given in scriptures are the duties that are given to us, okay, that we need to follow. And how we need to perform those actions is without having expectations and with faith. Okay. And so if we are performing, who is performing this, right? So what, why, how, and who. Who is performing is those who are practicing Vedas. So in summary, right? We learned earlier, like Daivasura Sampad Vibhaga Yoga, Daivi Sampad is those who are practicing, who are practicing the scriptures. Asuric quality is not practicing scriptures, right? Very high level. Now, here in 17th chapter, we learned about, okay, practicing scriptures is fine, but how do we practice the scriptures, right? So before we talk about, the steadfastness without expecting results, perform these activities, Lord Krishna talked about the Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas classification of Yajna, Dana, Tapas. Because the scriptures contain Yajna, Dana, Tapas, right? You say, oh, practice the scriptures means what? What is there in scriptures? Or follow the scriptures means we have to follow Yajna, Dana, Tapas activities. And there are three ways of practicing them: Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas. Right? Now, Lord Krishna is saying that we so he explained which is, of course, which is better. Which is a better way of practicing. Yajna, Dana, and Tapas.
Sattva, right?
Sattva.
Sattvic.
Sattvic. Sattvic yajna, Sattvic dana, Sattvic tapas. We need to practice. In tapas, he has given the three classifications again, related to body, mind, and walk, right? The talking. So we need to practice with sattva, or as sattvic, with Sattvic Shraddha we need to practice them. Not simply say whatever is followed, whatever is given in the scriptures, I'll just I'll follow. But there is a, we need to practice it in a sattvic way. Okay. Now, all that is kind of summarized with Om Tat Sat. Om Tat Sat are the three words, the three purifying words given to us. So we chant them while we are performing these activities. Okay. Or we remember them while we perform these activities. Okay. So the three that are important are the Vedic activities, and those who are following Vedas, Vedics. There are confusing interpretations and confusing words that are given when some of the places, but hope this is clear. Okay.
At high level, Om. So we need to chant Om before, right? For the
Yeah. So Om, yeah.
Then Tat.
Chant Om and recite the Vedas. Chant Om and do any activity. Okay. It purifies whatever we are doing. Okay.
Then Tat.
Go ahead, Andy. Sorry.
Then Tat is for the, right, we Igna Dana Tapas, perform these activities without any expectation. That Om Tat, right? That's Tat.
Yeah. So what is the purpose we are doing?
So to get moksha, right? Realization. That's the purpose.
Yes. Yeah. And how we are doing is also there. Yeah.
Okay.
Without having expectations. Good. Next.
And it's Sat, right? So doing these activities with steadfastness, Igna Tapas. Right? And yeah, this is where I was going to do that. That's right. Sat is, yeah, Sat is perform the activities, right? And Sat is also same thing, perform the activities with steadfastness and determination, those
So,
kind of things.
right. So in a short way, right? Shraddha. With Shraddha perform the activities. Okay. Sthiti is steadfastness. Also refers to faith and direction, good direction, firm direction. Shraddha is also conviction with faith, right? So with Shraddha, when these activities are performed, that Shraddha is Sat, right? And the activities that are performed in support of those people who are performing the activities is also Sat. Okay, so we can refer to those people also as Sat because they are performing them with the
Supporting,
Shraddha. So Vedics are referred to as Sat. Because, I mean,
who supporting the
this is the quality, the Shraddha is the quality of that person, right? So that defines the person. So you could refer to that person also as Sat.
Okay.
Right? Those who are performing the activities with Shraddha, with faith. What Shraddha? That Shraddha which is Sattvic, not Rajasic or Tamasic. Okay, so if you are performing the activities with Sattvic Shraddha, not any activity, the activities that are prescribed in Vedas, Yajna, Dana, Tapas, that refer to those people also as Sat. Right? Okay, so here that Shraddha is, Shraddha are the people who have that Shraddha are referred to as Sat.
So in short,
Okay.
Om Sat, before if we do any activity, if we do this, at least of cleansing ourselves, and we are.
Yeah. So remember, I have to follow Vedas. Okay. I have to do these activities without expectations, and I have to do with Shraddha, Sattvic Shraddha. Okay, so instead of these three sentences, Om Tat Sat. Okay, so now Lord Krishna is going to conclude. Look at 28. Okay. Listen. Asraddhaya hutam dattam.
Ashraddhaya hutam dattam.
Shraddha.
Tapastaptam krutam chayat.
Tapastaptam krutam chayat.
Asadityuchyate partha.
Asadityuchyate partha.
Na cha tat pretyano iha.
Na cha tat prepyano iha.
Listen together.
Ashraddhaya
Asraddhaya
hutam
dattam.
tapastaptam krutam chayat. Asadityuchyate
Asadityuchyate
partha.
partha. Na cha tat pretyano iha. So Lord Krishna is now concluding. Okay. After giving full, details about Shraddha and types of Shraddha and all that, Lord Krishna is saying, Hey Partha, Arjuna, yet hutam dattam tapah taptam. Yet whatever. Hutam means whatever is offered as oblation into the homa. So whatever yajna is performed. Okay. Dattam, whatever is given in charity. Whatever is given in charity or donation. Tapah taptam, whatever austerities are performed. Okay. Krutam cha, whatever activities are performed, whatever actions are performed. Asraddhaya, without faith. Asat iti uchyate. that is said to be Asat. Okay. So in the previous sloka, Shraddha, with Shraddha, if you do the activities, it is referred to as Sat. If it is Ashraddhaya Hutam, Ashraddhaya, if it is done without Shraddha, without faith, without conviction, that is referred to as Asat. Okay. Sat is in general good, auspicious, will do good for us. Okay. Or good people, good quality, good thing. Asat is bad, inauspicious, gives bad results. So Asat iti uchyate. What is Asat is anything that is done without faith. What happens if we do without Shraddha? Tat na pretya. Pretya is after death. Tat is that is not useful after death, or that is not useful. Na is referred to as no, but when the direct meaning is no, or not useful after death or in the future worlds. No ihacha, no iha, neither. So that na there in the previous thing is neither. No is nor here. Iha is here in this world. So that's Ashraddha. If you are doing any activities with Ashraddha, that is without faith, without conviction, then it is neither useful here nor useful in future worlds. Okay, so one is Daivi quality is practicing scriptures, but we have to practice scriptures with Shraddha. Is Shraddha Traya Vibhaga Yoga. Daivasura Sampad Vibhaga Yoga, 16th chapter, the focus is to tell that we need to practice scriptures. Shraddha Traya Vibhaga Yoga is here to practice with Shraddha. If we don't practice scriptures, we are called asuras, asuric quality. And if we follow the scriptures, but if you don't have Shraddha, no conviction, then it is not useful again, right? So with Shraddha is with Sattvic Shraddha, because with Rajasic Shraddha or Tamasic Shraddha, it is going to bind us. That's what Lord Krishna said, right? Or it will even take us down, some Tamasic. So we need to practice Sattvic, have Sattvic Shraddha. Okay, so in short, if you have to say with Sattvic Shraddha, we say Sattvic. Be Sattvic.
One quick
Right?
question, Andy.
Yeah.
What is the best way to interpret the question that Arjuna has asked at this point? Arjuna's question was, somebody may not know the Shastra, but if they are really performing the activities or rituals without knowing the Shastra, So then, what is the status of that person? That's the Shastra Vidimutsrija Vartate Kamakarata, that shloka. So Bhagavan essentially is saying that, even if we don't know, is it correct to think that even if we don't know the Shastra completely, if we perform with faith, with complete Shraddha in Paramatma, that could yield good results?
No.
Suppose rituals, some people may not know, how to exactly perform rituals.
Mhm.
So are they expected to know or, get hold of the people who know it and then only perform with Shraddha? In other words, the question is, do they need both Shraddha plus the Shastra to be able to get liberation?
Yeah. So we have to practice scriptures. See, Arjuna's question was, those who perform the yajnas with faith, but they perform it after discarding the commands of the scriptures. So they're not practicing what is given in the scriptures. Okay. So, and what is their state? Sattva, Rajasa, Tamas. That's what he is asking, right?
Yes.
So they have to, we have to practice the scriptures. Okay. We cannot discard whatever is given in the scriptures. So if I don't know the scriptures, first of all, if I have no knowledge of the scriptures, how can we say that we are performing the right actions? Right? Now, if I'm performing with the Shraddha, right? That Shraddha is Sattvic Shraddha, or Rajasic Shraddha, or Tamasic Shraddha. If I'm doing the activities that are not in the scriptures, or after discarding what is there in the scriptures. It is not Sattvic, definitely not, right? It is not Rajasic also. It can be considered Tamasic, because Tamasic don't follow what is there in the scriptures. What is Tamasic yajna is not following the scriptures, right?
Right.
So what is prescribed for us in the scriptures is, say we have to perform yajna, dana, and tapas. Okay. Now, if I'm not practicing whatever is given in the scriptures at all, right? That is straight, in in our terminology, out of scope, right?
The rest of it doesn't matter.
It doesn't really matter. What you call is not going to matter, because we're doing something that is not prescribed. Okay.
Knowingly or
Now,
unknowingly?
knowingly or unknowingly. If people who understand but still they don't follow, then that's also bad.
Bad, yeah.
Right? So, but if I know this yajna, dana, and tapas that I need to perform, but if I don't follow the scriptures, then it is tamasic. They don't follow whatever is prescribed, then it is tamasic. Tamasic yajna, tamasic dana, tamasic tapas. If I'm following them for my own sake, to show off, I am doing it, this is for myself, right? These are my activities. Or this dana will give me, the donation will give me name and fame. Or this tapas is going to, this is for me, right? So all that, if focus is me, right? Then it is rajasic. We're following the activity, whatever is given, like we're doing the donation or we're doing homam. but the purpose is different. So then it is Rajasic. Sattvic is we are doing it as with without having expectations as service to God, right? So with no attachment, no expectations, all that. I mean, we went through all that, right? So then it becomes Sattvic, Yajna, Dana, and Tapas, right? So Lord Krishna is saying with that Shraddha you do, that is Sattvic Shraddha. We perform the activities. If you are doing with like Rajasic or Tamasic Shraddha, or not practicing the scriptures at all, of course, it is not going to be useful either here or in future worlds. That means it is not going to give us the peace that we need in this world. It may give us material benefit, right? But it doesn't give us peace. Okay, and because we are going to acquire karmic bondage so much that it is not useful for our future worlds or future births. Right?
Right.
So in
So,
previous,
sorry.
go ahead.
No, I was just thinking, I mean, the question is, suppose, let us say somebody is not privileged enough to get access to these scriptures, but somehow, because of past samskaras, they are naturally following karma yoga. And that maybe we can say that should be one of the exceptions, even though they don't know enough about Paramatma and the scriptures and everything. I know
Right.
it's the rarest of the rare, because even though they are practicing karma yoga, they were antakaran shuddhi and all that may not happen without knowledge, normally speaking.
Yeah. So the question, if I understand correctly, is like take us, right? We are not. We didn't open the Vedas. We don't have any knowledge of Vedas. How many people in the world have Vedic knowledge, right?
Right.
So what about all of us? I guess that's the question that you're probably asking, right? So
Yes,
yeah, so yajna doesn't just refer to the homum activities that are given in the Vedas. Okay, Panchamaha yajnas.
Agree.
I mean anything that is done for the sake of,
It's about to call Paramatma.
right? Say for the sake of other human beings, right, or other animals and environment, or for the sake of our forefathers, for the sake of our acharyas, for the sake of the like as a, anything that is done, study of scriptures, anything that we like we perform the worship, pujas. All these are Panchamaha yajna. Yeah, they're all yajnas. Okay. So if I'm performing that yajna as sattvic, then I'm practicing scripture. Right. Now, let's say I don't even know Panchamaha yajna, that term itself, I don't know. Right. So then if I'm at least I'm not harming others. Right. I'm expecting good happen to everybody in this world. Right. Things like that, the qualities that we talked about in the Daivi qualities. If I'm having Daivi qualities and not having Asura qualities, because of my, either my inherent nature or because I developed them in this life. If I have Daivi qualities, I tend to practice the scriptures. If I have Asuri qualities, I tend to not practice the scriptures. Arjuna is having Daivi nature. Did he study all the Vedas and he's practicing Vedas every day as given in Vedas? Probably not. But he has a Daivi nature. So indirectly he is practicing whatever is given in the scriptures. Is again so based on what I've learned, right? So it is not necessary that today we have to start going through Vedas and understand them. Not necessary. now that we know Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavad Gita is a summary of the Vedas. Vedic knowledge is given in this in a summary form to us. So, knowing this knowledge, do our duties, right? Then we are practicing the scriptures. And how do we how do we do our duties is given, right, as Sattvic. So if somebody does not know that they need to do the charity, donation, or austerity, practice austerities, okay, they're doing the opposite. They're having a lot of desires and they're greedy. They want everything for themselves. Okay, so then they're not practicing scriptures. If they don't know that they need to do the donation because it is one of the activities that we need to perform in our life, that is prescribed for us, and we don't practice that because we don't know, then I think we are losing out, right? I mean, we are not there yet. So we may not be able to practice whatever is there in the scriptures, but if we follow a great Acharya, just follow, that's it. They will guide us. We don't have to study anything. If you are practicing the principles that are taught by Acharya or whatever they are practicing in their life, right? Then we can be assured that we are practicing whatever is there in the scriptures. We are performing yajna, we are performing dana, and we are performing tapas. For example, Sri Chinna Jeeyar Swamiji has all these activities. Somebody may say, "Oh, why Swamiji has to do all these things? He's a Sarvasanga Parityagi and all that. Like why he has to do all these activities which require a lot of money? Why is he? Why money is needed and all that, right? But it is basically for our sake that we have to practice that. Like if there is no opportunity for us to do like sattvic danam, right? What we will do, either we will never do danam or we will do uh, you know like a rajasic or tamasic danam, which will bind us. So what is Acharya doing? Acharya is giving us an opportunity to practice the sattvic danam. Even after giving that opportunity, if people don't take it, they're at loss. If we don't have to study the scripture, or whether it is there, how it is there in the scripture, we don't need to know. Acharyas will take care of that. So that's why if either we study, understand everything, of course, we cannot do that by ourselves. We need Acharyas, Acharyas blessings and guidance. But that is one option. We study ourselves, right? And practice, or simply listen to Acharya and follow what they say. That's it. We are guaranteed to know the scriptures and indirectly know the scriptures and do according to scriptures. Home activities that we perform, the all Panchamahayagnas are covered in Swamiji's activities. And tapas is also covered. I mean, everything that is there given in the scriptures. I'm not prepared for all the activities, but everything is covered, I can say. So yes, one who doesn't know and one who does not even want to seek to know the things or follow things, nobody can help. But one who doesn't know but has no like they don't know Sanskrit, they don't know what scriptures to follow and all that. We have Swamijis like Sri Chinna Jeeyar Swamiji who can guide us without we even knowing that this is all we need to do according to Bhagavad Gita and all. But unfortunately, a lot of people uh, will not be able to see the inner meanings of whatever the activities that Sri Swamiji is doing, and we may think that, oh, why, and all those questions come up because again, lack of knowledge. It's not possible for us to explain the entire Bhagavad Gita to everybody, right? And people may not want to listen, but if you are giving the opportunity to people to follow certain simple things, they follow that. They are developing the Sattvic Shraddha and you know elevating themselves in the spiritual growth. Hope that
Thank you
answers.
so much. Yes, yes.
Yeah. So bottom line is, don't have to worry that I don't know all these things. We are unfortunate and no, or we might have been born, where I don't have opportunity and people are forcing. All that is there, but yes, but fortunately, Paramatma is giving us Acharyas like Sri Chinna Jeeyar Swamiji who can guide us. And if you have faith, if you just follow, then don't have to worry about anything else. Like I don't know this, I don't. And a lot of times, what happens is we may follow for the sake of fame, name and fame, or again in those activities people do try to do that. Then they are doing the Rajasic Shraddha. We can't help it. But maybe after some time, people will graduate from Rajasic Shraddha to Rajasic to Sattvic Shraddha. So in one of the slokas, Lord Krishna said, Arjuna, you become Sattvasthaha, right? Balaji, you may remember.
అవునండి నిత్య సత్వస్థ నిర్యోగ క్షేమ యోగ.
Yeah, yes, Sattvasthaha. So basically, Sattvic state, right? Sattvic personality. There is, I mean, Nistraigunya Bhavajana is also there, right?
Yes, yes,
Right.
second chapter.
And also Nitya Sattvastaha is there.
నిత్య సత్వస్థ.
So if I'm saying that Nistraigunya, there you're saying, Lord Krishna is telling Arjuna that don't be associated with the effects of the three gunas of the Prakriti. Okay? So that is one. Nitya Sattvastaha is you be having the Sattvic Shraddha. See here, Yajna Dana Tapas we have to do, right? There's nothing else that we have to do, right? In Yajna Dana Tapas, there are only three classifications. Sattvic, Rajasic and Tamasic. And Lord Krishna is saying you do it Shraddha. So you do with the Sattvic Shraddha. Right? So then how can you say don't become Sattvic? Right? So there's a difference there. One is the personality. Be Sattvic. Okay? Have Sattvic conviction. Sattvic Shraddha. Perform the activities Sattvic Yajna, Sattvic Dana, Sattvic Tapas. Consume Sattvic food. That's all. 17th chapter over, right? Now, when you do that, you become Sattvic. So Lord Krishna is telling Arjuna to have Sattvic Shraddha. Okay, so we shouldn't be attached to the Sattvic, the effects of the Sattvic guna from Prakriti, but we should develop the Sattvic personality, Sattvic conviction, Sattvic nature.
Yes, sir. Got it.
Okay. Some of the things that Lord Krishna said in previous chapters, they become clear when we read the later chapters.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Okay. Any other questions? Oh, we will conclude actually. We'll say the concluding. Okay. One moment. Listen. Iti Srimad Bhagavad Gita su
Iti Srimad
Bhagavad
Bhagavad Gita
Upanishatsu
Upanishatsu
Brahma Vidyayam
Brahma
Yoga Shastre
Yoga
Yoga
Shastre
Shastre
Sri Krishna Arjuna Samvade
Sri
Sri
Krishna
Krishna
Arjuna
Samvade
Samvade
Shraddhatraya Vibhaga Yogo Nama
Shraddhatraya Vibhaga Yogo
Yogo
Nama
Nama
Saptadasodhyayaha
Dashodhyayaha
Sri Krishna Parabrahmane Namaha
Shri
Krishna
Krishna
Parabrahmane
Parabrahmane
Namaha
Namaha
Om
Om
Asmadguru
Asmadgurubhyo
Namaha
Namaha
Jai Shri
Yes,
Narayana
Jai Shri
कायेन वाचा मनसेन्द्रिये वा बुद्ध्यात्मना वा प्रकृते स्वभावात् करोमि यद्यत् सकलं परस्मै नारायणाय समर्पयामि श्रीमन्नारायणाय समर्पयामि सर्वं श्रीकृष्णार्पणमस्तु
Krishnaarpanamastu.
अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः जय श्रीमन्नारायण
Jai
जय
Shrimanarayan. Thank you so
श्रीमन्नारायण
much, and very helpful.
थैंक यू
Jai Shri Narayana, sir.
Namaste.
Thank you, sir.
जय श्रीमन्नारायण
Thank you.
जय श्रीमन्नारायण